Hello, 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 everybody. Sunday Adelaja here from Kyiv, Ukraine. I want to welcome all of you back to this program today. And we're having a special program today with a very unique person, with a special, it's more like me actually, because I'm a missionary here in Europe, but he's a missionary in South Africa. He's originally from Nigeria like myself, just like I'm also from Nigeria originally. But here I am in Ukraine and I'm more Ukrainian now than Nigerian. The same thing with this young evangelist that I'm talking to today. He's more South African now than a Nigerian. When I even listen to him, I think it's more South African accent. He's lost his Nigerian accent. He's no more like sounding like I wouldn't have been able to tell that he's a Nigerian if somebody had not told me he's a Nigerian. The accent is totally South African now because he has adopted the culture, he has adopted the people, he had adopted the mission that he's doing there, and he's not afraid. He's not afraid to stand for truth and to stand for what is right. So please go ahead and call your friends and your family members. Go invite as many people as you could get, because today we're going to be dealing with all the cabals, the African cabals, the Nigerian religious cabals, and the South African religious cabals. And so between the South African and Nigerian religious cabals, we have a whole day ahead of us. Those are the countries where we have the most of them. And they are just widespread everywhere. The religious cabals that are destroying the gospel in the continent, both in Nigeria and in South Africa. So allow me to present to you today Brother Solomon Izang Ashoms. So hello, Brother Solomon.
Sawubona.
Oh, wow. What language is that?
That is Zulu, isiZulu. So the language in itself is called isiZulu, but the people are called Zulus.
Okay.
So you don't just say, do you speak Zulu? You say, do you speak isiZulu?
Oh, wow.
Yes, which is what my wife speaks. My wife is from the kingdom of the Zulu land.
Ooh, okay. Zulu, Zulu, Zulu. I like the way they sing.
Yes, very great culture, art. God has blessed them with a heritage of people that are warriors and also people that have a very vibrant culture, you know.
Okay, what about now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, I heard about the ancient warrior king, the Zulu king, that resisted the colonizers and the white majority, and he tried to fight them and all that. So they have a very rich culture. But the only thing I don't understand too much about their culture is why they should have to dress and dance naked with the young girls.
Yes, it's true what you mentioned about the king. The kings fought the British colonizers, and then they had to fight the Dutch colonizers also. So if you go to around KwaZulu Natal, there are a lot of historic monuments where you can actually follow the trial, the trail of the fight, of the war.
Wow.
Very informative. But there are people that the men also, when they dance with just their skin, and then they're wide open. And then they also have what they call the reed dance, which is what annually young girls who are virgins, they go to the palace of the king.
Yeah, and they go somewhere to the forest as well, or somewhere outside to the outskirts.
Yes, they go to the outskirts where they are mentored by older women concerning how to be a woman, womanhood. But then there's also the African belief part of it, which has to do with some sort of covenant and initiation, which is for me, which is what I don't agree with, But the part where the older woman would mentor them and preserve purity, in a time where we are experiencing sexual revolution, across the continent of Africa, but the girl be able to preserve herself until marriage, and also they have virginity testing, which some people agree with and some people don't.
Yeah, but that's a great thing, though. It's a great culture. But I have a friend, a very good friend, a family friend, actually, husband and wife. The wife is Zulu. The husband is from another tribe there. And the lady tried to explain to me that it's because of virginity and that all that dress and the coaching and the mentorship and it's just to is the culture of trying to preserve their virginity, which is okay, but I just say, why undress to do that?
Very good question. People would try to justify it by saying, well, naked we came into the world and we can be naked. Or they could say, well, they're virgins and they're pure, so why should they cover themselves? They're very innocent when it comes to sexuality and also
But then they get pictured in the video, and they are no more.
Yes.
It's no more. It's not a private thing. Why should they cover themselves? Then it goes worldwide, and they become one day they will become a wife. So somebody else will be looking at your wife's nakedness in the television in his own room. Then so one day they will become parents, mothers, and then their children and the other people everywhere all over the world will be showing them their mother. And it's going consequences of the world. Maybe sometime those days when there were no exposure so much and it was a local thing, maybe it could still be understood. But in today's world, they might need to look into that once again.
Yes, they have to, because sometimes even people take advantage of it. Older people go there to prey on younger girls.
Ooh.
The Zulu culture allows you to marry more wives, and also older people who are just very lustful. They go in there and they prey on them also, so it's something to deal with. It's something to have a conversation. Now we live in an age where you could just be there. You can actually do a Facebook Live from there.
Ooh, wow.
So it's something that they need to consider. Culture evolves. Maybe we need to get to a place where they're going to cover it up a little bit, and that way we can really celebrate the culture. But definitely the sexual purity of it is something that for me is actually very biblical.
Very, very good. Very, the idea of being mentored by older women. Amazing concept.
Yes, very amazing concept. And these women are older, more experienced, and they don't just teach you about how to be a wife. They teach you how to also, sustain yourself, not just how to please your husband. On the other side of the men also have their own culture where you go to the mountain for initiation. That's when you get
circumcised.
Yes, so you spend a couple of weeks on the mountain, but with older men, they also, try to teach you how to conduct yourself and all that. Again, culture evolves, and there are some of the things we can maybe rethink it and.
But exactly that for the men existed in Nigeria as well. In the olden days in Nigeria, the men used to be taken away, at least in the West and in the East. I know Yoruba people used to do that, and Igbo people used to do that, because when you read Chinua Achebe's books, you will see that they used to do that in the East. Then in Yoruba, I just know because I come from there, that they used to do it. That's when they circumcise them. They take them to the bush, and from when they're about 13, 14, 15. But it went off. It had disappeared before I was even born.
Yes, I think, and we miss that a lot, because right now you get a lot of younger people coming through, and they don't have mentors. They're being mentored by the media. They've been mentored by music. They've been mentored by books. They're being mentored by people that they don't know where they come
by
from.
Nollywood, by Hollywood and Nollywood and things like that.
And Bollywood, they're not mentored by people from the community where they know
people who really care for them.
People who really care for you, where also we can also preserve our culture, and really make sure the culture is transgenerational. We go from one generation to another. But those are some of the elements I think we need to rethink about it. Or maybe the church.
Did you study in South Africa or what?
Yes, I studied in South Africa. It's actually amazing when you said I'm a missionary like you, because I came in here to study, and then after studying, I became a full-time missionary for about 10 years, where I was we run discipleship courses for students around Africa, and I studied communication, so I do radio training for Christians, how to use that for evangelism and also for discipleship. We do prison ministries and school ministries and all that. So a lot of my life here was actually just as a full-time missionary. I studied here in Cape Town at the University of the Nation, which is a Christian university. And then I left for Switzerland and Sweden. I studied a bit there also. Wanted to go back to Nigeria, but I felt being in media, South Africa is the best platform. I love Africa, so I didn't see myself living outside of Africa. But I felt South Africa is a good place to grow my skills, learn more, and also the prophetic mantle that God has given South Africa. I saw a vision, I think 2002, when I was much younger, how a wind is blowing into the continent of Africa and is bringing a lot of different theologies and doctrines. I was very afraid. It was just like 10 seconds. It was fearful because the wind was like fire, and it shook me. And that was when God told me, I want you to stay in the continent. Whatever you do, this is your mission field. This is where I've called you. So that's how I got stuck in Africa, and I love it.
So you said you are in the media.
Yes.
So you are a media professional.
I'm a media professional. I studied communications, mass media concentration. When I was here in South Africa, I also did quite a bit of whilst here in South Africa. I ran a magazine. It's called Parable Magazine, which is a Christian magazine. And whilst I ran it, it's.
Hello, we lost you. Okay, I think that's the line there. That is the connection. All right. I suppose South Africa should have better internet, right? So what is that about? Does South Africa have problem with internet like all the African countries? That would be surprising. Okay, let's call him back. Let's try to get him back. Meanwhile, I would like to call upon all of you who are watching. Today, Nigeria is choosing their president. They are voting. And congratulations to all the participants, all the winners and the losers. Everybody will get some experience. So I want to use the opportunity to congratulate everybody that is participating in the race and all their supporters. And let's celebrate Nigeria. Let's celebrate democracy. Doesn't matter who wins. It doesn't matter. It matters. It does matter who wins. But I mean, at the end of the day, we've got to love the country. The country is bigger than candidates. So, meanwhile, while we are waiting for Solomon, I want to say I have this book here about Nigeria, how to make Nigeria the greatest country in the world. If you are in depression, you need to read this book. If you are having some bad feelings about Nigeria or about even your personal life, that book will wake you up. That book will make you to be a proud African and a Nigerian. So look for that book. It's on Amazon. You can get it to read for free on Kindle Unlimited. So look for that book, How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World. And then I have another book. This is the book I did a program about with Anu about how the Nigerian economy can overtake the American economy. Actually, I got a letter today where somebody was telling me that the program I did on the subject, how to make Nigeria the greatest, how to make Nigerian economy overtake, how the Nigerian economy can overtake American economy. That program we did, they said we should actually do it regularly to tell more about Nigeria.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable.
People don't really know much about the country, and they don't know all those things I'm talking about. And this book also, it will make you, this one will bring a lot of emotions to you. Zwani. It will bring a lot of emotions to you. You will cry, you will get angry, you will laugh, you will be joyful, you will be happy, you will be excited, but at the end of the day, it will give you a lot of hope. So these two books are available there on Amazon and on Okada Books, and you can also buy them from our office.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the beep.
They will just do something to you. They will give you a feeling that you never had before. I can guarantee you that you've never experienced the kind of feelings that you will experience once you read these two books. But meanwhile, we're still waiting for Solomon. If any one of you would like to call into the program, there is the procedure whereby people call into the program. And the way to do it is for you to go to Facebook Messenger. When you get to Facebook Messenger, look for Move Agents, one word, Move Agents, Move Agents. So once you get to
the person whom you're trying
to
reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the beep.
Go to Move Agents, then you could write us a note and just say, I would like to call. Just tell us you would like to call when you get to Move Agents. So go to Facebook Messenger, look for Move Agents, and once you get there, you can just drop a line and say, I would like to call. You would like to, then we'll be willing to get you back. Meanwhile, for any one of you who want to visit us in Ukraine, the next HMT, History Makers training that I have coming up is in April. So that's basically next month. In April, we have the next History Makers training, and it's on how to build systems. We are going to be talking on how to build systems. It's going to be mind-blowing, so get ready. And it's going to be life-changing. How to build systems. I'm going to teach how to build system and build a church as a system, how to build mega church, how to build a 1,000-member church or a 1,000-member organization or 1,000-member business or 10,000-member business or outreach or organization, anything you want to build, or political movement. This the very same thing I try to tell the young politicians that they don't know how to do is to build a system of how to cover the whole country, how to reach out to the whole land. So we are going to be teaching on how to build a system. It's going to be from the 8th to the 12th of April. From the 8th to the 12th of April. So if you want to join that, just go ahead and fill out the form on sundaylajabblog.com/HMT, History Makers Training, HMT, sundaylajabblog.com/HMT. So go there, or you can just write directly to hmt@godembassy.org. Have we been able to get him back? Hello?
Hi, I'm really sorry. I don't know what happened.
Do you people have problem with internet in South Africa?
No. I think it's the device.
Okay. I thought that was just a Nigerian problem. You need to move back a little bit so that we don't cut off your head.
Okay. Maybe I should move it in a bit.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's not bad. The way it was initially was good.
Okay.
I would advise you to touch the device less. Don't be touching because it's shaking all over the place. And then we will not be able to use the broadcast anywhere else. So you better move yourself rather than the device. Once you set it up, then just move less and you can move but not the device. Yes. Okay. I think we are ready to go now. Yep. So now, then I don't even remember where we stopped, but
yes, just around just my involvement with media, professional media.
So you are just doing your own thing. You are in communication or media business, like in a holistic way, or just doing your own thing?
I'm doing my own thing, also partnership with a few people. I set up what I call Parable Media, which now creates content. For part of the content was True Magazine, and I also freelance a little bit for mainstream media like the BBC. I freelance for the BBC and a couple of other international organizations. And believe it or not, I follow sports quite a lot. So I have done quite a lot of sports reporting. I've been to a couple of Olympic Games and Soccer World Cups right from school. And what I do, normally we go to Olympic Games. I've been to 4. And what we do there is we try to get the Christian angle to the Olympic Games,
But if you are doing just the Christian thing, how do you sustain yourself and your family?
A lot of what I do is like I said, I freelance for the BBC, so which helps me a bit. But because I come from a missionary organization, it's called Youth with a Mission, Y1. I was with Youth with a Mission also for a couple of years, which you live by faith. You have to sustain yourself. You have to raise your own money and everything. And so that was part of the culture that I grew up in. So I have to support myself. I don't have a church. In Africa, it's difficult to get a church supporting your individuals. And the magazine also started from nothing. God just giving me the vision and picking it up, and it helped quite a lot. But the main vision is to be able to drive it through. And I got to a place where gradually God took me. In the course of the magazine, I began to experience a lot around leadership in Africa and in South Africa especially. And people also coming to me, some of the articles that we write, and they're telling me their experiences in churches and with leaders. So that was how, the activism part of me now came out. And now we're here where it's obvious that, when you talking about church leadership and some of the cabals, somebody someone who would talk about it is definitely myself. I really don't know why. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so that's been the experience, and I got to a place where a lot of what I do now is that, and I set up a platform called the Movement Against Abuse in Churches.
Wow!
And against abuse, the movement.
Your device is really letting you down, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea why this is.
Wow.
Yeah, but that has been the story, and that's where I'm at right now.
So you ended up marrying a South African lady?
Yes, I ended up marrying a Zulu woman. I met her here. But then she ironically went to Nigeria, to Lagos, to work.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's a chartered accountant. So she worked with PwC. So she went and lived in Lagos for about 3 years. That has really
She worked with who in Lagos?
PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yes.
PricewaterhouseCoopers. Wow. So she was she was working with them in Nigeria?
She was working with them in Nigeria. She lived in Victoria Island, and she got to visit my place in Jos.
Ooh.
My family, yeah. So she's very. The good thing is she's been able to transit into my culture. So which the cultural aspect has not been any challenge for us, because she embraced my culture.
But when she went to Nigeria, was she already aware that she was going to marry you?
No, she wasn't aware of that.
Ooh. But you had known her before she left?
Yes, I met her just before she left. I was even trying to give her some orientation around Nigeria and our culture. But when she got there, when I go to Nigeria, I normally visit her, around Victoria Island. I have friends in Lekki, so I visit her. But then over the time, I got to really get to know her much better. And actually, I proposed to her on Skype, just like we're talking right now. That was the first my proposal.
You were back in South Africa?
I was back in South Africa. So she was in Nigeria, I was in South Africa.
You changed places?
We changed places. It's good. And, it really, because sometimes in a marriage, culture is an issue, or in a relationship, culture becomes an issue.
It was like God just set that up, huh?
Yes, and I'm a believer of culture. You know, I believe I'm here in South Africa, and I embrace every part of the culture of South Africa. You know, because this is home now. This is where God has sent me to. Just like you in Kiev in the Ukraine, it's just good to be able to embrace that. And we have two kids, two boys, Arin and Itse. Give them a name from Jos, Nigeria.
Right.
And then they have their Zulu name, obviously, Luzuko and Ayabonga.
You understand the language too?
I understand a bit of it. I studied in Cape Town, so my understanding of Afrikaans is much better, which is more like a bit like Dutch.
Right.
Yeah, but Zulu is my wife's language, and the Zulus love their language. They don't care if you understand it or not. They will speak Zulu to you, so you have to.
I have their songs. I have some of my best songs. I think they are the best a cappella singers in the world. And I have their songs. Some of my favorite singers in the whole wide world are Zulu South Africans.
Yes, you know, you look at you remember Ladysmith Black Mambazo.
Yes.
Yeah, they are Zulus. They are from a place called Ladysmith. Ladysmith is actually a town in the Zulu kingdom, and great a cappella. You know, the Zulu culture in itself cannot be separated from music.
Wow.
Music and dance is a great part of the culture. The language, the spoken language, the dance, and the music, they all come together. It's a package. You cannot separate them. And they've been able to maintain that and celebrate it.
Do you know Charles Awuzie?
Charles, yes. I actually met Charles, I think 2 Christmas ago in Cape Town. Somebody told me about him and the great work that he's doing. So I went with my family, and I met up with his family. We were on holiday in Cape Town, and we had an evening together. We had a braai. We call it a braai. The Americans call it a barbecue.
Yeah, barbecue, yeah.
We had a braai together, and also getting to know him.
So you people call it bride?
Braai.
Braai, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Braai.
Okay.
Yes.
Because he is doing something similar. He believes like yourself in working for what you do. I mean, working professionally to sustain yourself, and also in exposing the religious cabals.
Yes, it's when I met up with him, these are some of the discussions that we had. You know, just the opportunity to be able to. South Africa in itself and Southern Africa has become like a breeding ground for the religious cabal because of the penetration of Christianity, understanding of scriptures here. Because South Africa, you know, it's a young country. You know, 1994 until now, 25 years ago, that was when South Africa was liberated. And because of the British and the Dutch that came in here with the oppression, and they also came in here with the Bible. But for a lot of black people, they were confused. You know, you're oppressing us and you're giving us the Bible. So there was they repelled that. They didn't embrace it. You know? So they went into their own traditional African culture, ancestral worship, and a whole lot of other stuff, and which really became a part of the culture. You know, when you have like here, ancestral worship is very much believing in ancestors is very much part of the culture. Where if you're sick or if something wrong is happening in your life, you have to go to the Sangoma, and then you go to slaughter an animal to appease your ancestors. So there's a belief that your ancestors have something to do with your life now, today.
Yeah, paganism. That's paganism.
That's paganism. So they go to an Inyanga or a Sangoma where they give you something to do. So we have these cabals coming into the church
repeating the same thing.
But just a different setup. They just hold the Bible and put on a tie, and then we think they are truly of God, but they're not.
That is syncretism.
That's right.
Yes, I did a series on syncretism, And I drew a picture of how that works. It is the African traditional religion, and the same thing all over Africa. And that is the way it works when pastors have replaced the, whatever the word you use, the witch doctors and the babalawos and the, yes, the priests. Yes.
The Nyanga.
Yeah. They've become the priest. And so the same thing, they just bought into the African traditional religion concept. Even in Nigeria, where people don't really do that too much, but they don't do the traditional one too much. But because of the culture is still much there in the people, the pastors resurrected it, and Nollywood resurrected it for them. So, but before I go deep into this topic of today that we are going to be discussing, the religious cabal, how did you settle down picking your wife? Because I have a lot of friends from South Africa, and some of them are women. And from what I could pick up from them, in fact, even though they are married now, they said if they had a choice, all of them said they would have married a Nigerian. Or a South African, but more, or a Ghanaian, but more West African, mainly Nigerians. So, and I also have heard of a lot of conflicts from the men in South Africa thinking that the Nigerian men are coming to take their wives. So a lot of South African people will not be happy with people like you who has gone there to take up their girls, to take up their daughters and their girls and their ladies, and that their ladies are marrying off to Nigerians, and Nigerians are picking up their women. And so the men are angry, but the women seem to be happy about it. And I know some women here in Europe who say, they would rather, I even know those ones who had a bad marriage with Nigerians, bad experience, but they said they don't mind, doing it again.
Right.
So yes. What is it about about South African women and Nigerian men?
From my experience and interaction with the different culture of South African people, I feel there are great South African men that are there. I know quite a lot of them, but then you always have to look at history, the history of the family in South Africa, the family unit in itself. Back in the day during apartheid, when the Dutch and the English were in charge, the South African man, because the black person was underprivileged, the South African man had to leave the town where they are and come to the city and work in the mine and work in the city to support his family back in the village, back at home. So we have a situation where the man left and the family there is no head in the family. And now sometimes the man comes to the city and the man now gets a second wife, city life, or he gets into a whole lot of other stuff, or he's here supporting the family, but then he's not there for the kids to grow up. So you have the boy child growing up without a mentor, without someone who could help him. And also the South African woman now became very productive. The South African woman become really like the Proverbs 31 woman, where she goes out.
They take up the role of the man.
The role of the man. So they go out there, they have to, and this has been happening, we're talking about things that happened, over 100 years, 300 years. So the South African woman has now this perspective, and the boy child was not mentored, and the boy child today is the man who is getting married. So he was never mentored. He was never told. There was no one there to guide him. All he saw was just people drinking and living their lives the way that they want to live their lives. There's just no one there. So there was an advantage for the girl child and a disadvantage for the boy child. And now we are beginning to see how it's affecting the opinion of women on who they want to marry. They know a good man, but I think for men, they don't know, they struggle to know a good woman, or they struggle to think this is who a man should be.
I think that's where the problem is. Yeah.
Yeah, I can have a girlfriend. I can go out when I want to. I can, you just obey me and follow what I say, and that's all you have to do. So there's that perspective. And then you have, after 1994, you have a lot of Africans coming in here from West Africa, from East Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana. And then there's that, cross-cultural marriage. And now, women, the one married to a Nigerian or a Ghanaian who is a great man, she tells the other friend, and then they tell the other friends because they talk amongst themselves a lot. It's like, wow, marrying a Nigerian has been a good experience and all that. And we also, as Nigerians, we come from a culture where, our family is very important.
Yeah.
Over here,
men are highly responsible.
Men are highly responsible. Over here, there's a challenge of broken families. It's a challenge. The divorce rate is sky high. Single mothers' home is sky high. Families that are headed by women is really sky high. And a lot of times, not because the women don't want to get married, but they don't want to get in and be abused. Abuse, violent against women is high, So those are some of the challenges, and I totally understand the perspective. For my wife, I'm really glad her parents are still together. She actually grew up a lot with her dad because her mom was in the university and all that. So she got to be mentored by a man, and she's the first in the family, and she has 3 sisters and 1 brother. So that really helped in her connecting and understanding who a man should be. And when we met, she's a professional woman, and I'm the opposite of being like totally. She's a corporate woman, but I am somebody who my whole life has been.
You are artistic.
I'm artistic, and I've been in the mission field. I work without getting paid, but she doesn't understand that concept. She comes from a place where every hour you get paid. But it was good to see just the way that she understood where I'm coming from, and I managed to expose her to some of the stuff that I do before then, and she understood it.
Because when I was in South Africa, I've been South Africa a few times. One of the things that really shocked me was the picture of seeing men. I mean, I'm driving by the road in the morning to the hotel or to visit people, and we see like 50 men. Nigerians would never understand what it is. At the corner, just by the roadside, 50 men or 30, 20, 50 men just waiting for work. I said, who are these men just waiting like this? They say, they are waiting for people to pick them up for work. So what about if nobody comes? Well, they wait next day. They come back next day and wait like that. I said, how can you wait? A man wait for somebody to come and offer you work?
Yes.
In Nigeria, people struggle. People go to the street, you go and struggle, you go and get something done.
Yeah. You try to go initiate something. You try to go buy something and sell something.
Yeah.
You try to go look for something to do, and you don't wait. But here is a different culture. I think South Africa, a lot of people are still influenced by the days of colonialism. The Black person especially is still coming out of it. Is still struggling with it. We haven't had that generation where we could say, okay, we've eradicated that. You still see the white person as the superior. You still see him as the master. You still respect the white person more than you respect the Black person. I'm Nigerian. I grew up in Nigeria most of my life.
No Nigerian. You would never say a Nigerian that believes that a white man is better than him. You would never say a Nigerian like that.
Exactly. We come from a country where everyone is Black. So, and we have just very little percentage of white people who came in. So for us, everyone is equal. Wherever we go to, you are a person, I'm a person. I have the same rights that you have, I have it. So there's nothing to do with skin color. There's nothing to think you are my master and all that. So there's that mindset that people are still struggling, even educated people, because it was done for hundreds of years that you have to get your mind off it, that you're still struggling to deal with it. It's a mental state. Sometimes you even just do it in a way that it's
But you people have a lot of problems in that country because, for example, all the people that I know, almost maybe 80% of South Africans that I know, 80%, most of them either they had a child, girls, the ladies, either they had a child before they married, or they were born like that. So their mother brought them up with a husband that is making all the other women, okay, like I have a very good friend, a lady, but the father was having children with maybe about 8 or 9 other women, and he's not living with all these women, just making children everywhere. And then later on, she got to know the sister when they were in the university. And they were like a copy of one another. So this kind of, so a lot of, and she told me that is almost normal in South Africa, with women having to fend for the family most of the time. And so, that's a whole lot of problems right there in the country.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of problem, when it comes to adultery.
But what about that issue of girls thinking in their mind that it's normal to give birth when they're just teenagers, and then they marry later on? They have a child somewhere, and then they get to marry later on. I mean, what is that? That has become a culture almost.
It's almost a culture. Even in the church, we have it. Not just because age is catching up on you, but just because you want to have.
I almost couldn't believe it. What are you telling me?
Yes.
They said no, it's normal.
When I came here, that was a culture shock for me. It shook my culture because I come from a culture where, growing up in a community where I only saw one single parent, one mother raising her son. I remember his name Isaac.
I don't even know anyone like that.
Exactly, So you come here where it's rampant, where you would see. I mean, I can talk about the church where you would see a girl that devoted in church, and the next thing she's pregnant, and it's almost like okay. It's almost like okay. So there's something about having a baby at a young age, which is, back in the day when the fathers used to go away and the mothers were home, raising kids for a lot of South Africans, kids are really, precious, which is good.
Because the ladies were saying marriage is later, but I want to have my kid for myself.
Yes.
Marriage later, but I want to have my baby for myself. What is that?
Yeah. What if I get older and I don't have somebody who's going to marry me? I want to have a kid at a young age that I will make sure that I raise the kids, just so when I'm 45, I have a daughter who is 25 or 27 or something. How about, if I get that, I don't need a man. There is actually a lot of women now, especially city girls, educated, where they decide they don't want to get married. They just want to have kids. So it's a trend now. You would have a baby, you have no commitment. You tell the father, I don't need any commitment from you. I will take care of the child.
Wow.
So, which is it's a way that the devil has penetrated.
Amazing.
Because you cannot raise a baby, a kid, alone. That's not the way it's designed. Just a mother or a father. I understand maybe the one parent passed away, but the way it was designed biblically is for two parents to be there, to have a stable home. But now we have it. We have it in church, where we would see it, and where we would see a lot of other, a lot of single mothers actually coming through, and even the babies being dedicated.
Yeah, that's what I heard, that in churches, you have a lot of children, you only know their mom, you don't know their dad. That in Nigeria would be like, in church, even in the city, is crazy. Okay, we are cutting off your head now. Okay, it's gone again. The line is bad. So South Africa is a country that is full of so much complications. I mean, I can't believe it. In Nigeria, the only problem in Nigeria really that people think is a problem is poverty. Apart from poverty, all other things is second class, not a problem compared to South Africa. South Africa, they have rape issues a lot. People raping virgins, raping young girls. They have all these single mother situation. They have, husband just having children everywhere. But in Nigeria, even if you have children everywhere, you take care of them. You will try to identify with them. But here, you don't even know. Everybody just, it's very complex. Anyway, I wanted to talk to him about religious cabals. I'm just talking about South Africa.
The person
Maybe
whom
somebody
you're
needed
to
to
reach
know more
is
about South
currently
Africa.
unavailable.
Anyway,
Please
let
leave
me talk about people who want to, who are watching us. If you want to call into the program, please be free to do that. You just need to go to Facebook Messenger. And when you get there, just write to us and say you want to call. Send us a text. And meanwhile, I want to introduce you to these two books about Nigeria. They are life-changing. They will blow your mind. In fact, they are probably some of the best books you will ever read in your life. How the Nigerian economy can overtake the American economy, that's the one book. Then second book, how to make Nigeria the greatest country in the world. So that's another book there that will be a mind-blowing,
The person whom you're
book
trying
for
to
you.
reach is
And of course,
currently unavailable.
for those of you who might
Please
want to
leave a
come for the
message
next
after the
History
beep.
Makers training, the next History Makers training is coming up in April, and that might be my last History Makers training in this country. It could be my last one. So, so I want to encourage you to go ahead and register, and the way to do it is to go to sundaydelajablog.com/HMT, History Makers Training. The topic I'll be training people on is how to build systems. I've discovered that Nigerians and Africans in general are weak when it comes to structures, processes, and systems. So I want to dedicate that program to building systems. So we are going to teach people on how to build systems. And just like I did the last time, I taught about how to build systems for your life. But this one will be how to build systems to attain goals and to resolve any problems. Because the key to resolving every problem in life is by building systems. And the key to attaining any goals is through systems as well. So the last one we have done how to build system for your life for the next 20-something years. And this will be about building system to attain goals. All right, now, since your telephone is messing up like this, can you move a bit to your, is it to your right or to your, yes, that way. Okay, good.
Okay.
And I will need you to move your head backward as well. Because we'll need you to, because I'm seeing more of your body, but your head is, I'm just seeing you from here. So we need you, like that. We need you to move like that way. Or maybe you need to move your device a little bit this time so that you have space over a little bit over your head. You might need to arrange it. You might need, because that way you are bending, you are stooping, but maybe you need to move your machine or your device to make it, good, like that, something like that. Yeah, better, good. All right, so let's go right into the issue that we want to discuss today. I have some questions for you about the cabals, especially about two people. There is this guy you call Bushiri in South Africa, and then there is the other guy they call, what do you call the guy? Is it Ralph or something? Alf Lukaku or something?
Yeah. Lukau. It's Congolese.
Yeah. So those people are, who are they? I mean, are they for real? Or I personally think, I know more information about Bushiri, and I am certain that is fake. But the other guy, I don't know much about him, but I guess it's fake as well. But you are there in South Africa. Tell us about these people.
And first, I would want to say I've had a lot of stuff with Alf Lukau, and I cannot say much about him, but I would try to say as much because he took me to the courts several times. And the last time I used a scripture when he was given a Rolls Royce and a penthouse suite worth millions when it was his birthday, 41st birthday. So I used a scripture from Proverbs 23:16 to say, "You who keep giving to the rich, you will you will stay poor." So he took me to the High Court, which cost a lot of money. And the judge found me guilty, believe it or not. It was over the media that
found you guilty for what? That you criticized him?
That I used a scripture verse. Because I used a scripture verse, and there was also someone there that said, but this guy is not for real. So I liked it. So he took me to the courts, and they said that was an indirect defamation. So I was sentenced to prison for 21 days. And currently suspended for 2 years. So this is the first year now.
Suspended from where?
Suspended for 2 years. So I was sentenced to prison for 21 days. But I would not go to prison within 2 years. If I speak about him in a defamatory way, then I will go to prison.
No.
Yes. But let me start from the top. Since you asked about him.
No, then no. Then we will not talk about him. No, I don't want to put you in that place. No need. No. Let's just leave him alone.
There are issues that are out there, that are stuff that are out there that I can talk about.
Okay.
He knows.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. I need to defame him. Accuse him of something first. I have known him since when he came in here, Congolese, and he was through a couple of friends, being also in missions. One of my leaders used to go to his church and preach until I think about 10 years ago or so. Then he now started, there's quite a lot of miracles and all that kind of stuff.
So he didn't start that way?
No. I actually, when this whole thing started, when he took me to court, I sent him a message. I got his number. I sent him a message. I said, "Look, brother, you didn't start this way." That was what I had. But now you are this way. I have no issues with you. So he replied me, he said, "Solomon, what have I done that you were attacking me, my family and all that?" I said, "No, it has nothing to do with you."
So does he know you?
He knows me.
You had met him before?
I'd met him before. When remember I told you I was running a magazine, Parable magazine.
Yeah.
The Christian magazine. So I know a lot of the leaders here, one way or the other, or they know me.
Okay.
And I had an interaction with him. And when I had the interaction with him also, I wasn't really happy about it because I felt he was prideful. I have to be honest with you. He was prideful, and I follow people's character. So, and that was, when I pick stuff like that up, it says a lot about the leader. And I went to his office, I met him. We had a commitment which was never kept. But later on, I got people coming to me to complain about their experiences with him, the allegations that they put out there. So I started talking about it, and also went on radio. I was very angry inside of me, like a holy anger, because a lot of the people came to me, their life was almost like destroyed, and I went on radio, and they gave him an opportunity to come on radio.
What destroyed their lives? What were the complaints against it?
There were a lot of allegations that they put out there, which was actually what he took to court, and I mean, like I said, this let's say this were not proven from his side or from the legal side. They felt it was not proven, but from them they were convinced that this is it, and I put it out there from questions of financial issues to sexual issues, is out there, which they put. But obviously he said he never did anything like that to them. So it's just there. But he took me to court, obviously, and they said we had to settle, and we kind of like had some sort of settlement. And then when I used the scripture verse again, he took me back to court. He made a video about me, and just saying that he's, what I said about him is not true, and all that kind of thing.
So maybe you are not the only one he has taken to court.
From what I know, I'm the only one. I don't know if there are other people when it comes to talking about these issues.
I just wonder, you shouldn't be the only one who has been criticizing him.
it seems like I'm the only one that has taken it to this level.
Okay.
Because it was more like a national level.
Okay.
You know, I was on national TV and radio stations and newspapers, you know, and it was basically all over.
Okay.
Yeah, which he was not happy about. And he took me back to court again, and they found me guilty. And he said he didn't do anything. So the court said, okay, he didn't do nothing. But he got some very top lawyers. You know, he got the top advocates. You know, it was the high court, so it's more expensive.
So he had the money.
Yeah, he had the money. I had no chance against him when it comes to money. My wife had to go and get her benefits, retirement benefits and funds, you know, for us to put in. We put in a lot of money. I didn't have like somebody behind me that is pumping money on me, you know. So he got the highest level of advocates. The British call them the silk. That was what he got. Even the judge was complaining. I was like, look, a case like this, you don't need this kind of a very experienced advocate. But obviously he has the money. And also in the course of that, before we went to court, our lives were threatened. Hitmen came to our house 3 times.
My God.
My wife was.
These guys are not joking.
Hitmen came to our house. The good thing was we live in a community where only the resident can give you access to come in. They came to our house 3 times. You know, in the night, in the evening, some of them send threatening messages, death threats to me and my wife from Namibia, from Zambia, from South Africa. You know, it was just, I don't know how they got our phone number, but what they did is 3 people who are from his church called my wife. Don't know how they got my wife number. 3 men, they had guns, and I was with my wife, and they said, look, can you come to the police station in Santon? We have a message for you. She said, who are you? They said, no, just come to the police station. I was with her. So we went to the police station with our son. She was 7 months pregnant, and we met them. And then there was another police officer. So they took us to a small room. And now they started telling my wife everything about us. So they have information where my wife's parents are at. I'm a Nigerian, my visa situation, my visa status, where we live, and everything. Now, you don't get that kind of information off the street.
No, but those are the police, right?
No, they were not policemen. They were using the police you have to understand it. There were 3 security men from the church. They had guns, but they were not police people.
But they were using the police station
to intimidate and threaten my wife.
But they were in the territory of the police?
Yes.
That could happen in South Africa?
We had to open the case. And the first time we opened the case against them, the docket disappeared. And my wife, she was pregnant, you know, and I mean, I wish I had I sent you the photos so you could actually. We took the number plate of the photos, the number plate of the car they were driving, because we got very angry. Even in the police station, my wife and I tried to cause chaos there, because how do you even allow them to bring us to a police station to want to intimidate us? If I was not with my wife, then she would have gone there alone. And they would intimidate her because they want the husband to be quiet. If you have a problem with me, you would call me, not my wife.
And then who is pregnant?
She's 7 months pregnant with our second son, Itse. How do you even do that?
Wow.
So that was when afterwards they took it to the courts and everything, and we had to spend a lot of money, and I had to move my wife from our house to our sister's place for security reasons. We had to move from our house for about a month.
I just recently heard that the guy became a billionaire in US dollars.
Maybe, you know.
That he became the richest pastor in the world. But how could you be a pastor? Maybe is he a businessman or a pastor?
I think he's a businessman too. He runs his business. From what I heard, he runs his business.
Maybe he made the money from his business, not from church.
Yes, he used to. There's quite a lot of complication to it. He used to be. He's married to a girl whose uncle was a multi-millionaire. He's an Angolan. His wife is Angolan.
Okay.
So they were doing business together, but the uncle is passed away. They fell out, and then the uncle went to do his church. But from what I heard, they said he helped him. When the church was coming up and all that. And I mean, President Jacob Zuma then used to go to the church. Zuma's daughter goes to the church. A couple of other ministers goes to the church. So he's influential. He knows people. You know, I'm nothing before him. For me, I was just trying to talk about what I hear people say.
Who is more notorious of the two, himself or Bushiri?
I think Bushiri is a godfather. He's younger, but Bushiri is a godfather. Alf, again, because of that case, he said everything was said was not true. So let's leave it there. Everything that I said was not true, and I was found guilty. I wanted to take the case to the Supreme Court and then the Constitutional Court, but then you need money to do that, and we've exhausted all that we had. So he's there, let's take his story. Let's believe his story for now.
I saw him riding in a was it a Rolls Royce, in a video of him coming to church with some I think horses. Some horses were riding in front of him, and he had a white Rolls Royce, and even police. I think they were actually police escorts.
Yes. Yeah, they were the city police. They call them the Metro Police. I think maybe he hires them to do that. I don't know what the arrangement is. A lot of people on social media were like, but how do you give that person that kind of security for him as a pastor, not as a government person or somebody whose life was... So there's a lot of questions around it.
He's behaving like Mobutu. He's a little Mobutu in South Africa, that idea. That's the way Mobutu used to behave. He's like Mobutu.
Yeah, and also
Mobutu in the pulpit.
Yeah, he's. I pray for him. We pray for him, and we try to make sure that we have a right spirit towards him. We are not carried away.
Wow, things are happening in Africa, eh? Things are happening. This is just ridiculous. Ridiculously unbelievable. Wow. That is just one Lakau or something. Alf Rakau? Alf Rakau. I mean, he's just behaving like a dictator somewhere. It's like some I think it's egomania, kind of. I think he is suffering from egomania. Kind of egomanic something with him. Anyway, I don't seem to know much about him. I think he has a way of silencing people if he tried to do it to this Solomon. So let's see if we have a caller. And meanwhile, if you want to be receiving our call or you want to be receiving our messages, we have this WhatsApp number where you could send your WhatsApp telephone number to, or your telephone number or WhatsApp number, or your parents, your friends, especially those in Africa who cannot spend too much money on data, and you want us to be sending messages to you. We'll be sending to you messages for free every day, but at a good resolution that you can watch almost for free. So our number is +38 098 596 3838. +38 098 596 3838. So please go and share this message. Maybe some people in South Africa might be particularly interested in this subject. Let's see if we could get Solomon back. And I don't know what is wrong with his device or his telephone. But yeah, so let me talk to you about these books again. How the Nigerian economy can overtake the American economy. It's going to blow your mind.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable.
To God forever that you read a book. The same with the second book, how to make Nigeria the greatest country in the world. You know, they are going to transform you. You are going to feel good about yourself after you read these books. You are going to feel pretty good about yourself. And so if anybody wants to call, the way to call is to go to Facebook Messenger. When you get to Facebook Messenger, look for Move Agents. Facebook Messenger, Move
The
Agents.
person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the beep.
Line, just write us or text us that you would like to call or you would like to contribute. Then we will allow you. We will call you back. All right. So let's go back. I want us to be able to get Solomon back, so we could talk about Bushiri. But it's like South Africa would never get set free from these people, because with so much corruption going on, and with these guys buying the police and buying everybody, it's like the country is never going to get set free. Just like Nigeria, corruption is too much. So, hello.
Yes. Sorry about that.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, good. So this Alf Lakau, he's like a god. People in his church are treating him almost like a god. Seredine stuff.
Yeah. It's again, I wouldn't want to. I think I would leave it there.
Okay, let's go to Bushiri. It's like Bushiri is having a whole lot of problems right now.
Yeah, Bushiri is having a lot of problems right now. He is charged 2 counts charge, money laundering and fraud, for monies that he allegedly said he got loaned from a business for him to be able to buy a plane, a private jet, which cost about 1.4 million US dollars. But now the South African Reserve Bank, which is like the central bank, pick up that the money came in. So they asked him where the money came from. He said it came from a loan. So they followed through and they found out that the people who gave him the loan said, no, we never gave him any loan. So there's a problem there. There's a problem there because they're saying the signature was forged of the director who signed that. He is saying the invoice that he said we gave him, we don't give people invoice. So there's a huge problem there because I was telling somebody today, I was like, the South African police have done their job, the Hawks have done their job. So the problem is not them creating an issue where there's no issue. The problem is money was transferred between these two people, but the one is saying, no, we didn't give him money, and the one is saying, no, we gave him money. So and crime, financial crime in South Africa is you go to prison for a long time. If somebody was charged last week, he was found guilty, a top leader, used to be a member of the parliament in South Africa, for fraud, and he was sentenced to prison for 20 years. 20 years. So financial crime here, money laundering is a very serious issue. And I think Bushiri has found himself in a big problem. Before then, there are definitely allegations. I spoke to a guy who used to be his financial manager, his chief of financial management. And he told me that, look, Bushiri used to launder money. He told me how much they make from tithes every week, money from how much they sell oil. They make about 1.4 million every week. Money from what they sell from water, about 300,000 rand.
So what do you mean oil? You mean it trades in petroleum?
No,
Because that's
anointing
what came
oil.
to my mind. When you talk to a
Yeah.
Nigerian about oil, he's thinking petroleum.
No, anointing oil. They make about 1.4 million rand. So
From
convert that
anointing
to,
oil
yeah. So convert that,
every week.
every week. Multiply that by about, I think about 25. Then you can convert it into a naira. So you're talking about more or less about 32 million naira every week, not month. So every month you have 4 weeks, and then you have 12 months.
Just from oil and what?
That's just oil, and then there's water. They make about 300,000, and then there's pictures. There's handkerchief, and the water, even the oil in itself. There's oil for success. There's oil for favor. There's oil for healing. There's oil for. It's all there. So it's merchandising that. So you merchandise it. You've commercialized it. Now it's become a product, and you want to milk it as much as possible. You're not just going to want them to buy one oil that is going to serve every purpose, but you want them to buy one oil for one purpose and another oil for another purpose.
So the tithe and offering is not enough for him.
So tithe offering is not enough for him. And you have to understand also, DSA, recently, with all this scandal coming out, the next big thing that's coming out now, he has a company called Shepherd Bushiri Investment, SB Investment. So what they do now, people have come to me from the different branches of the churches around South Africa, telling me that they were convinced by the pastors who were sent to these churches to invest in this SB investment. And they've invested millions, but now it's like 2 years, they can't get their money back. They told them if you invest, you're going to get 300% return within 6 months. It's almost 2 years now. So that's the next big thing that's coming out now.
I know someone who did that, who invested in his business like that. And this is an African in America. People from America are taking all their life's investments and they are putting it in Bushiri's company. I know a family. I know a family personally. If you could help him, he's looking for help. If you could help him, I could send his I could introduce him to you. He's a good friend of mine, and is a pastor from America. All their life's investment, all their life saving, he gathered it and put it in Bushiri's company.
Yes, people were told to resign from their jobs and take their payout and put in there. People were told to sell their houses. People were told to take their life savings and put it in there. And now people have lost so much. And we're talking about people that this is a setback for them. So why should we be quiet? Last year in March, I did what I call March Against False Prophets.
Oh, I saw that. I didn't know it's you who did it.
I was the one. Bushiri tried to stop it. He took us to court. He took us to the High Court a day before the march. He tried to stop it. His attorney, his lawyer, is Barry Rue. And if you know Barry Rue, if you watch the Blade Runner's trial, Oscar Pistorius, the Blade Runner.
Yes.
That was his attorney.
Who? The highest.
These guys, they charge per hour. You don't want to know how much they charge per hour. He was the one representing him. In the evening, we had to go to court. He tried to stop it. That this march was against him and this and all that. We argue, we say this march is not against you. Are you putting yourself in the port of false prophet? This march is against false prophets. So the judge dismissed it. She said, no, this march must go on. He said, no, but I need an apology from them. The judge said, no apology. And we had to march the next day. I can tell you many issues. Right now, talking to you, I know a situation of a girl who called me. Never knew her from anywhere. About 6 weeks ago before Christmas, she called me. She needed my help. She said she has stuff. She's in a relationship with Bushiri. I said, you're in a relationship with Bushiri. How do I believe you? I went and met her, and she showed me proofs. And guess what? She had an 8-month-old baby.
From Bushiri.
Who's the father of that baby? Who is the father of that baby? This is the first time I'm saying this. And I'm saying this to you. I had not said this
anywhere.
I had not said it anywhere. This is I've not put this on Facebook or whatever. No, because a baby is involved.
5 months old.
8 months old baby. And she was coming to me because he used to support them financially, but then 3 months down the line, he hadn't sent them money, and now they have bills to pay. They're going to kick her out of her house, and she needs me to help her. Where do I start? I've met Bushiri before. I've spent about 3 hours with him. I didn't want to go to him. Somebody asked me to go to him.
No, he's a sweet talker, because when you see the interviews that were, I mean, the interrogation that were given to him, he was able to talk himself out of all this. The reconciliation, whatever you had, reconciliation table or whatever, council, there was something they invited him to, either it's a reconciliation kind of committee or something. They appointed him because he could talk himself out of it.
Yeah, he could talk himself out of it. You know, there's also a time that I went to the national TV. They invited me to talk about just about false prophets, and unknown to me, he was the guest before me. So he was there, and after his interview, 10 minutes later, I came in, and I came in with his bottle of water and his honey. He also has honey, branded Major One honey, and I spoke about it. And the next day, you know, they now call the TV station. Why do you have to talk to him without Bushiri there? They took us to the court, to the media court. They call it the press ombudsman here.
Wow.
You know, and I told him, when I met him, I didn't want to meet him because I told the person I'd have no business with him. I don't believe him. He's a false prophet. End of story. But she convinced me. Her husband got involved. Her husband is a Nigerian, and they wanted me to consult media for him. I said, no, I cannot be a part of that. I cannot be a part of that gimmick. But I said, okay, I'm going to go to the meeting just to do you a favor. We went, we sat down, and it was supposed to be a 30-minute meeting. We spent over 3 hours, and I told him, I don't agree with you. Your miracles, this, and this is not of God. It's wrong. He tried to justify himself. He was trying to show me his foot where he was shot. He said he was a Muslim when he was coming up, and he became a Christian, and his family tried to kill him, and all that kind of stuff. You know, we had a long conversation, and I told him, I said, look, in this country, he was just new in South Africa. You're going to lose your ministry. You're going to lose your church if you keep breaking the law with women, money, deceiving people, abusing people. And that's exactly what it is. I told him that, you know. It was just in November, I think this first week of December. Then I left for Nigeria for Christmas and then came back with my family. I got a call from him saying, you know, he's trying to call me and see how we could do stuff together. I never returned his call. That was the end of it.
I saw another video of somebody from Zambia who said Bushiri duped him of $4 million or something.
Yes, I have their phone number. I can give you the phone number of that same guy because I spoke to him, and I also networked him with the media here to talk about the story, to expose the story. The media is calling me to also want to know, you know, because I get people complaining to me, people that you don't know. You know, that's where I'm at right now, DSA. I'm in a place where people come with different, you know, members of this cabal have abused them, have deceived them, have taken from them. They come to me, you know, for help, you know, and I don't have the platform to give them all the help. I'm just somebody who is in the media, who's trying to create. God said, Solomon, create conversation around the cabal, the religious cabals that we have. Talk about issues and the stuff that they're doing.
Bring awareness.
Bring awareness around it.
What do you think? What do you think? Which is a worse situation? Is it the Alf guy that is the worst situation, or Bushiri? Or they are equally as bad?
Bushiri for me caps everything.
Wow.
You know, Bushiri for me caps. I mean, again, the court didn't find Alf guilty, so Alf is not guilty. You know, according to the court, Alf is not guilty, but there are people there who are saying he's guilty. But Bushiri is really.
But the court has not found Bushiri guilty as well, though.
Bushiri has not, the court has not found him guilty as well. But the good thing with him now is he's in court and he's charged. But Alf was never charged by the police or by the Hawks, to go to court. And Bushiri also, a lot of his stuff, I think he's messed up in so many places that they're gonna nail him. He doesn't cover his track well enough. Done quite a lot of things. Okay.
I think something happened over there. I don't know what happened. I hope the Bushiri guy has not come for him, or the Alf the Alf guy has not come for him, because he had to go very like randomly like that, very suddenly. So I hope he's fine. I hope he's fine. Wow, things are bad, huh? I think we have a caller. No. No, I don't, because I really have a lot to discuss with this guy still. But I would not like us to receive calls now. I think maybe we should still try to get him back before we begin to receive calls. Maybe we should still try to get him back and hear. Because I want to ask him about another Nigerian pastor that has been jailed. Maybe he's not jailed, that is in court in South Africa. There is another Nigerian guy that is in court over there. So I want to know about that. And I also know that there are also other religious cabals in South Africa from Nigeria who are having inroads there, like Chris Oyakilome, TB Joshua, and I would like to know what they are doing in South Africa and how are things working out for them. And Nginla is there too? Oh, okay. I was just told that Nginla is in South Africa, has influence in South Africa as well. Well, I don't know what's happening. We can't get him back. As one of yes? I don't know why we can't get him back. Кто? Не знам, кто это такой. Кого поздравить? Его этого гостя? У него день рождения сегодня. Она звонит? Да, пусть. Не звонит, да? Okay, we can't get this guy, huh? Let's give him a try again. Let's try to get him again. Well, I mean, we're just getting to the heart of the conversation, really. Because, like I said, I would like to talk about the Nigerians over there. Right now, we're only talking about the Congolese and the Malawian. We need to talk about the Nigerians as well. So, but Bushiri, it's a pity that, I hope, actually, I started feeling sorry for the wife, I started really feeling sorry for the wife because I'm not sure if the wife is aware of what he's doing or if she's part of it or not. And when I saw her in that court, she was not looking very good.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable.
I kind of felt pity for her. So I'm praying for them. I really felt compelled to pray for them because I know what false accusation is, but in his own case, I don't think it's false accusation because he has so many things he's done wrong and that are very clear. All those kind of deception, manipulation, and but I just don't know if the accusation itself is correct or not. Well, we can't get this guy. We can't get this guy. So if we cannot get him, I'm afraid we might have to stop here. Maybe we have to invite him back, but he has to do something with his telephone by the time he comes back. He's got to fix his device, otherwise it's not worth it. Okay, here we go. Well, we can't get Solomon. We've lost him. And so we will have to stop the program today. And please go get these books, How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World, and how the Nigerian economy can overtake the American economy. So let's, and of course, if you have not yet shared the message, go share it. If you have not yet joined the mentorship program, go to sundaydelijablog.com/mentorship. If you have not yet done, if you have not yet written down our telephone to receive our messages on daily basis, is +38 098 596 3838. And I want to congratulate all Nigerians today for voting for a new president. Either it's going to be the old one or the new one. Anyhow, congratulations to all of you, and the senatorial elections and all that. And, you know, no winners, no vanquished. So we will just assume that it's a great experience and great demonstration of democracy for our homeland. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone. And I don't think there is a caller, right? I don't think there is a caller. So if there is no caller, we will just probably end it, because I will have to come back in the next 30 minutes to talk about self-management and self-leadership. And a leader is a ladder. So we'll see you in 30 minutes. Peace.